All right, we are rolling now. Counting us down. 3, 2.
You're listening to Missing Out with Lex Michael and Tari J. Let's start the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out. I'm Tari J.
I am Lex Michael.
And today we're joined by good friend James Lott Jr.
He dug deep. The ground split open. There was lightning. I think that's what that was.
It was.
I like that.
I'm glad. You're a mainstay on this show.
I am. I'm glad to be back.
The third?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the third.
Right.
Third time.
You're past junior and now the third.
When did we decide you get jackets? At number 5?
Yeah, it's number 5, just
Ooh.
like SNL.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I'm a size large. That's it.
But yeah, and also if this is your first time listening, what we do here is we introduce each other to different media, whether it be movies, music, television, spoken word, books, experiences, things that have built us up as people. We take those and we hope that it builds you up as people. We are the retrospective that's introspective.
So melodic, so rhythmic, I can tap my feet to it.
Hell yeah. Dance, baby, dance.
I love to dance.
That's just the new tagline that we're going to put on all of our branding. Dance, baby, dance. And they're going to listen to the show and they're going to say, they sold me something that they did not offer.
A bad sale of goods or bill of goods.
Yep.
Something like that.
Bad sell of bills.
Bills. Exactly. Bills.
I feel not only unlike tapping my feet, I feel a bit frightened.
Aw.
I mean, that's the appropriate feeling that you should have when listening to this show. If you're not at least a little bit scared, I don't think we're doing our job.
And like it doesn't matter what the fear is for. You could be scared for your safety, for ours, for the future of civilization, if this is where the bar is. But we're looking for some little sprinkle of fear here.
Right.
Sprinkle. Okay. I can do that.
So, James, you brought in "Open Your Box" by Yoko Ono.
Yes.
It's her 2007. I've seen it called a remix album.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a compilation of her remixed singles.
Mm-hmm.
And why did you bring this to us?
Because, as we talk about my music, she inspired me, actually. A 77-year-old kind of icon from the 70s, because of her and John Lennon. She became a club diva in her 70s. Had number 1 hits. So all these songs were number 1 hits. And it inspired me because she does kind of spoken word set to music, which is what I do.
Nice.
Yes. And so she inspired me. She inspired me for that.
Yeah.
Like the songs.
I only know of Yoko Ono in her relation to the Beatles because the Powerpuff Girls did a parody of it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
They did the Beat-Alls, where all the bad guys got together, and then someone posed as a Yoko Ono type character in order to break them up.
It's a deep cut.
It really is.
I don't think I would have ever thought of that again. I think I would have exited this world without that ever crossing my mind.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, it's okay. Yoko did not break up the Beatles. Sorry, folks.
She just happened to be there.
She didn't break up the Beatles. They were breaking up, and they were going that direction anyway. They were a boy band when they started. Let's get real. Then they got a little more serious, and then there were drugs and things involved, of course.
A lot of drugs.
But egos.
Yep.
And you had 4 individuals that were very different.
Yeah.
He had Paul McCartney had Linda, and he had Yoko. I mean, just kind of, she didn't break up the Beatles. It's a misconception.
Yeah, it's real sexist. They're like, this woman came into this boy group and destroyed it.
Isn't that funny? I never thought that before, actually. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, isn't she known as like a really big feminism activist as well?
Yeah.
So, draw your conclusions where you will.
Yeah. But she's a club diva. In her 70s and 80s, she has number 1 hits.
Yeah, which is bonkers.
Yes.
I don't even expect to be alive in my 70s, let alone a hit DJ.
The 70s aren't that far from me anymore, so I'm like, well, I hope I'm around in 20 years.
You live a better life than I do.
I actively and intentionally make poor choices. When I go,
you're missing out. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
When I go, I want them to say there was a man who lived hard and fast and recklessly.
Yep.
We have to live longer. We're black men. Come on. We gotta live. We can't fall into the. I want to fall into the gap. Almost said that.
You mean the store?
Yeah,
That's
the store.
The moment
That's
you
like-
go into the Gap, that's where they get you.
I landed in a pile of blue cheese.
It's a honey pot.
I don't know why I said that. It's so weird. Okay, but anyway, so you know what I mean. I have a gap in my teeth, so mind the gap. I always say.
Oh.
Mind the gap.
This was my first Yoko Ono that I've ever heard.
Okay, and what'd you think?
I thought it was different than what I had expected in that I feel like any time I had seen a video of Yoko Ono doing her thing, it was her doing more like I don't know what
Avant-garde kind of.
like
wailing
very
and stuff.
wailing experimental stuff. So when I turned this album on and heard beats and like words, I was like, oh, I'm thoroughly surprised and delighted.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I think she has some good producers, which that'll do wonders for you and your voice and music. So I think that's one of the things that drew me. It was like the music's really good. They fit the vocals to go with it.
Yeah.
Very important.
Had you heard it before?
I have not. I in terms of Yoko's output, really the stuff that I'd encountered was the collaborations with John. And no, I'd never really dived into anything that she had done after that. So I had no clue what to expect from this album. And I liked it. But the other thing that I was struck by is, you talk about this album and how it was a direct inspiration. I feel like there's a direct line from what she's doing on this album to what you did on, specifically I'm thinking about Songs from My Inside Voice. I listened to that first, and then I went and I listened to this Yoko album, and I went, I see.
Yep. That was my first album, too. So, yeah, direct correlation. Yes, definitely. I felt like if I could do spoken word set to dance, that was my first thing, set to dance music. That was my goal. And I looked at her as, because, as we talked on the show before, I love Gil Scott-Heron. That's another story.
Yes.
Yeah.
With that. But I was like, I wanted to do dance. I was intentionally wanted to do conscious dance music. That's kind of what I wanted to do. And fun dance music to my voice. And she did that. And, she's known for, people forget this, that, like I said, every album with John, it was John and Yoko Ono. So she had solo songs on those albums. They just weren't popular because John was the popular one, obviously.
Right.
But then someone younger, one of your young people out there, started reaching backwards and saying, well, this chick has some stuff on here. And then they started making it happen.
How did you find this album? Or had you just been such a fan of her before and then this came out and you were like, damn, this is my shit?
I'm a club person. Back in the day, when I first heard this stuff, I was going to clubs. I literally was going out.
Right.
So I was like, what's this song? It was before Shazam on my phone. I would go, what's that song? I'd run to the DJ and be like, what's this song? Oh, this is Yoko Ono. This is You're the One by the Bimbo Jones remix. I was like, oh, okay. And then you'd like, can you write it down for me? Because I can't remember anything. Put it in my pocket. I actually went to the club and her stuff, but then I knew about her because I'm from that time period. I knew John and Yoko, so I knew all about her stuff. Right. I was a fan, so both of them. And then, but I was at the club actually, so I've heard her in the club at the big sounds, and it was so wonderful. I was like, who is this? And then I went in. I went to the store, and back then I went. It was the tower was gone already. So was Virgin Mega Store still around? I can't remember. I went to some store and I went and bought it. Suncoast,
Yeah.
Camelot Music. No, I don't remember where it was. I actually went to a record store and bought it.
Yeah, we're going to assume it's Amoeba. This
Amoeba.
episode is brought to you by Amoeba.
Amoeba Records. Yes.
Isn't Amoeba on Sunset? They're about to change locations, I think, and they're going to need folks spreading the word about where to find them. So Amoeba, we could be your hypers.
Yeah.
Hypers. It's the official title.
Yeah.
Hypertari and Hyper
Lex Hyper.
and they'll be like, that is doubly on brand. There's a dual. Get out of my office.
Yes, exactly. I love Amoeba. I
Like
love
they
them.
start humoring you, and then they're like, "No, I don't.
I don't have time
the
for
energy."
this.
They're all never mind. Exactly.
Oh man. Anyway,
Yes.
Okay, so you were in the club when you heard this.
Yes.
I would not have heard this.
I would say
in
you
the
guys don't
club.
go to clubs, do you?
I'm not. I've never been. It's just I've been to a couple, but you get in there and it's like, wow, it's loud.
Oh,
Why is everyone so sweaty?
You sound like an old man.
You know what I mean? It's like I know you're here. Why are you yelling?
Oh, that's so funny.
well, because you need to be able to hear them over the
Yes,
music.
exactly.
All right. So the
Tell me.
only clubs that I used to go to were like top 40 clubs and mashup clubs.
Oh, okay. I know those mashups.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like Booty.
Booty. I
Yeah,
was gonna say yes. I know that. Yeah.
Because like the first time I ever heard house music in general was when I was sitting on the couch waiting for my prom date. She's like, "There's this house. Listen to that." And I was like, "Oh, cool. All right, sounds good."
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
And I was gripped with a fear the likes of which I have never known.
House. And see, I grew up going to clubs like at 16, 17 years old. I don't recommend that to anybody. There's a different time period. It was the 80s. And then when I moved to San Francisco and Sacramento, I went out 5 nights a week, 4 nights a week. I mean, that's what you just did. I liked to dance. Then I was a DJ for a while, actually. I had two Gemini mixers and turntables and mixers and everything. I did that for a while. But I've always loved music. And I'd always just dance music. House was my favorite. I loved house. I loved deep house. I loved techno house, techno trance. I loved all that stuff. I was into everything. I had every record in 12-inch, and I had everything. So for me, if I heard it in the club, then that's what I fell in love with, because I was out all the time.
Okay. I feel like there's a very big community of people in the like trans techno house community that like know all the like specific differences between these different genres. To me, it all is like under a big techno umbrella.
Yes.
And yep, it's deets and doots and beeps and boops.
It's a Skrillex.
Yep,
They put on house
it's a
or
dead
trap,
mowl.
and I'm just like,
Right.
yes, this is a Skrillex. I too am in the community.
I mean, and you don't have to answer any of this question, but like, I don't know really what defines the different genres. Like what separates trance from house and
Beats
and
per
house
minute.
Oh, really?
Literally, it's beats per minute style. Some beats, if it's faster, a lot, and it also depends on some of the instruments that are used.
Yeah.
House music literally is a direct descendant of disco.
Okay.
Disco is 4 and 4. Just kind of they're like do the hustle, and then house music is kind of like that. But with house music, they added a lot of big vocal.
Okay.
You'll have a lot of African American women, and that's a better term, that will sing these gospel-like vocals set to this kind of like and they sing it.
Yeah.
So that's what. And house music comes from Chicago. It's a very deep Chicago thing. And then techno is much harsher. I always liken it to rock music mixed with dance, because they do a lot of and it's like it's very just like it's
in your
hard.
face.
It's in your face. It's hard. House is like you put, and then you have slower house, like trance is slower.
Okay.
It's much more chill out music. It's
All
like
right.
do the hustle, do the hustle. Dude, exactly. It's very calm, but there's a beat in it. The beat's just slower,
Yeah.
but there's a beat. So it's often there's beats per minute, so there's just a difference. I mean, it's also there's styling. So there's Latin house and this house. I mean, that's all different. But usually the beat is what it is.
Okay.
Many people take funky drummer from James Brown. That's like a template for a lot of house music and a lot of dance music. It's for some reason that beat has been sampled 8 million thousand times. But that's the kind of the template of how the pacing and rhythm it goes.
Okay. I'm learning so much right now.
And that was the whole EDM thing is so funny, because when I heard EDM, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's basically mostly trance, dance, techno music. It's all kind of mixed together now.
Yeah.
That whole Marshmello, Skrillex, people around Calvin Harris, all them. They're all doing variations of disco, house, it's all kind of variations updated, I've noticed.
Right. EDM stands for electronic dance music.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a politics behind it too. Because there's disco sucks thing, everybody got disco, but disco never really left. It left the mainstream. Then it morphed into kind of house. And house became a better word.
Yeah.
Wording is always the thing. Like you say, pop music is a dirty word. Pop's a dirty word, but it's not a dirty word. It's just pop music. It's popular music. That's what it means.
Yeah.
But the phrasing was different, and techno got really big for a while in the '90s. The raves. I used to go to raves and underneath, freeways and stuff. But then that became like a bad thing too. Then Moby got really popular. I don't know if you guys remember Moby. I don't remember him at all.
Oh, you mean that guy who didn't date Natalie Portman?
There you go. Yeah, exactly right. I know. Really, I know. That's a good reference. I like that. I like that. I do. I like that. And also, actually, one of the first people to actually sell his album for commercials. every song because they stopped playing videos on MTV. Like, what's a video on MTV?
Right.
And what you're saying is Moby ruined all of it.
No, I'm actually praising him for it.
Okay.
No, seriously, because where are you gonna play your music? They don't play videos anymore. So where do you do it besides YouTube?
Right.
So you're getting commercials. You want to get commercials and TV shows. But anyway, but then he became popular. But then he even changed the game and made it into like a pop dance music. Because I saw him in 1990. He was hardcore. He used to call it 808. 808 just heavy, just just in. He changed. He totally changed. So the politics of the words. So EDM is a safer thing than saying house or disco or dance. It's just a safer word.
Interesting. I would never choose EDM as my safe word.
So, I would choose Moby. No. Moby. That's my safe word. Moby.
Choosing Moby when you're getting that dick? Oh!
Yes.
Up top, Lex
no.
Michael.
I am
Up top.
not-
Who wants some of this?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I am not high-fiving
You're
you.
still canceled, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll still take it. You're canceled, but I'll take it.
Right. You need that balance of validation and rejection so
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
find yourself emotionally spinning in circles.
I am a parent. We do. We build you up and bring you down at the same time. In
Thank
one
you guys.
sentence.
It really helps.
Yes.
Now I have Blood and Thunder by Mastodon
Hey.
going in my head right now.
Now, I love me some heavy metal and speed metal and hard. Like, that's another story. I love all that stuff, too. That's another story.
Yeah. White Whale. Holy Grail.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen to music, Lex Michael. Be a music person.
Come on, be a music person. Come
Yeah,
on.
seriously. Get it together.
Come
Yes,
on.
I have a reputation for rejecting
Music.
anything melodic. Just fills me with blinding white rage.
Yep. You're the place from Footloose. That whole place is you.
I am the town from.
So funny.
Yeah.
Footloose.
There will be no kicking off of Sunday shoes today.
Hear it for the boy. Yeah.
But yeah. So
Just come down off of that.
Yes.
That was hideous.
you're hideous.
You're hideous.
How
You're
dare
hideous.
you?
I beg your pardons.
So I would say that your album also would qualify as house, right?
Well, it's a good question because someone asked me that the other day, actually. Because my song "I Am Ready" that's clearly a house song,
Right.
The first time it's a song, and I have other songs that I want to break down, I want to break out, and I'm open to love. They're all kind of house music songs, but I have songs on the album that aren't house music. If you think about it, I have
Right.
songs that aren't either. But I guess it's a dance album. That's a good question. I wouldn't even know what's. Yeah, that's a good question.
My Soul Needs a Cigarette is definitely not a house one. I feel like that one's very like Leonard Cohen-esque.
Oh, thank you.
That's actually a couple of times listening to the album.
Thank you.
And similar, right? Like Leonard Cohen very much seems like a guy who you could imagine him sitting down, writing a long form poem, and then going, "All right, give me a guitar.
Right.
Let me go
Well, see, what's funny-
just as a delivery mechanism for my
It's
words."
funny you say because that song, my sister had a dream that her soul needed a cigarette. She said that to me. I wrote down that sentence. I do that sometimes. So I'll write down something that comes to me. And she goes, I had this dream that, and she doesn't smoke, my soul needed a cigarette. I thought, what a profound statement. My soul needed a cigarette. I wrote that song in 20 minutes. I sat down, I wrote it. And I was like, okay. And then I recorded it.
Interesting.
I was like, just from that sentence. And I imagined, because she was going through, she's my half sister. She has a mother who's going through Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So she was going through all this emotions. And like, I used to say I just smoke cigarettes because that would keep me stress free. You smoke a cigarette and you feel better. So I thought your soul wants to be stress free.
Do you smoke cigarettes?
No, not anymore. I was smoked for like 20 years.
Yeah. Same.
The last thing I smoked was Marlboro Light 100s. It's the last thing I smoked.
Okay.
It's like air, basically, like smoking air.
I was more of a Camel burst packs, the ones that you can do you have the choice of making them mentholated.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know this about you.
Fancy.
Well, I was originally a Marlboro Lights person.
Yeah.
Either that or Camel Lights.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
my buddy who I used to work with was like, "Hey, you seen these mentholated cigarettes?" And I was like, and he's like, "But you could choose whether you want a regular cigarette or a menthol cigarette. You pop a little bubble
Yep.
in the middle of it, and then it makes it mentholated."
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I really though I
Cigarette
did not
technology.
I did not know about your nicotine filled past.
It makes me feel bad. I was like that.
I didn't know. See, I have smoked cigarettes at parties, but I've never purchased a pack of cigarettes because like once you buy a pack, a lot of people like that's their first of many over the course of many years.
Yes.
So and there are some people who like you turn is it 18 or 21 now for cigarettes?
18.
So you turn 18 and it's just like I don't even necessarily want to smoke, but as a ritual, I'm 18 now. I can go buy a pack of cigarettes. I'll do it. I had the moment where I said to myself at age 18, oh, I could go do this. No, I'm not going to go do this because if I have one and enjoy it and I have regular access to them, that's it. I'm fucked. So I never bought one. But there are parties I've been to where you get just super drunk and then it's like somebody
Right.
keeps
It goes
handing them
hand
to
in
you.
hand.
Yeah.
I usually smoked at work because I was stressed out at work or at the club.
Yeah. It was always for me after drinking. So that was my rule was that like I could never just like smoke.
Yeah.
It was just like something that made me feel sober if I had drinking too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But smoking's bad, everyone.
Yes. Yes, completely.
Yeah, I stopped because I started doing voice stuff, and so like
Yes.
the long run, you know, it deteriorates your throat and your lungs and all that stuff. So I was like, I can't do both. So I stopped. And you should stop too if you already do it.
Yes.
If you are thinking about it, no matter how cool it looks in movies,
It's not cool.
it's not cool.
It
Not
does
cool,
look
man.
so cool in movies.
It's not cool, man. No.
I mean, they do try to make it look real sweet.
Yeah.
They're like, let's do some post-coitus cigarettes.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Look at all our I'm a hard-boiled officer. I like to smoke the cigarettes because it makes me feel good.
Actually, real dialogue from the Maltese Falcon.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The Manchurian Candidate. Yes, exactly.
But no, like circling back around,
Yes, yeah.
I feel like that song, I had written it before we were making jokes about relatable content. And I feel like that song is hashtag relatable
Oh,
content.
thank you. No, that was on purpose because that song's for my sister. It was for her. I wanted to write something for her, kind of to express her feelings, and that's one of the great thing about being an artist. I love this. I can actually do that. I can be the conduit to like being a representative for somebody who
Right.
can't get it out. And she doesn't write songs or sing or anything, so I was like, I can do it for you.
So before you came out with your first album,
Mm-hmm.
did you just have like a notebook full of phrases that you were like, I don't know what to do with these, and then someone was like, hey kid, you want to put your notes in front of music?
Someone who clearly spent a lifetime smoking cigarettes.
Yes. Clearly, when I started this 3 years ago, I wasn't a kid. I was 47.
Oh, that person always calls
Says
everyone
kid. Okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
I've been called a kid in years, so
Yeah.
that's kind of something else. No. Here's the whole funny part. It was, and for people who are going to hear this and who know me, know I'm one of those kind of fearless people. I just try stuff because why not? I was asked actually for years. I should do a song. I did a lot of voiceover work, so the dude like, I want to do something with this. I want to do something. And nothing ever happened. Well, finally, a producer said, James, can you write a song? I go, well, I don't know. I write poetry. Well, can you write a song? I said, I don't know. Go, well, then write a poem. And he said, I want to put it to music. I'm going to have some music for you. Let's just try just a one-off. So I had nothing written down. Mm-hmm. So I saw Yoko Ono. And another song is inspiration for me. Deepak Chopra, of all people, and Demi Moore.
Okay.
All right.
The number one song, there was a number one song in 99 or 2000. I heard it in the club, and I was like, why is that gravelly voice sound familiar? And they're like, that's Demi Moore. Demi Moore. Deepak Chopra put out an album for Love Poems by the Rumi. He had Madonna. Yeah, a lot of people on there doing spoken word, but the music was very trancey. Because Deepak Chopra is very trancey, meditative music. Someone remixed it and put out the song. It's the the Eddie Baez Tunnel mix, which I love. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it's like, do you love me? I love you. Do you love me? I love you. Just doing just remix this whole Rumi poem, and it's Demi Moore doing it. And she has this deep voice. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I thought of her. I thought of Yoko Ono. You're the one. And I said, what would I want to say? What would be a song that represents James Lott Jr.? And I swear to God, literally, divine intervention, I am ready for success. I am success. I am ready. That came to me.
Okay.
That was the first thing I wrote down. What? Like, where'd that come from? Where'd that come? Like, hello, where'd that come from? And I said it to the producer. He goes, "Oh my God, James, that's good. Because that's good. You have a hook. That's good. What else do you write?" Like, I don't know. I don't know what I can write. Shout out to Palms. I said, "I don't know." He goes, "Keep writing. Just keep writing." And I said that to him over and over again. And he started playing around with some music. And then I started saying, I told the universe what I wanted, and the universe replied. I had a conversation with the universe. And I was like, I started writing that down. And literally within an hour, I had a song. Went to the booth, recorded my vocals. I left. Up to you. And on my birthday, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, he delivered this song to me. At 11:55, birthday was almost over. And I got the song, and I started to cry. I love it. It's a song that you guys heard, the first song I ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I loved it. I say, this is exactly, I say it's housey. It seems almost age appropriate for me as I use my showcase my deep voice. It's a positive message. It's not complicated. I'm like, that's me. That's me. It's crazy. He said, we're gonna release it. Well, I release it where? I'm gonna release it to the wind, to the earth. I don't know what you mean. He goes, no, we're gonna put it on iTunes. We're gonna put it out there. Like, really? I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, he goes, James, do it. So of course I did it, and it became a minor hit for me.
Oh, nice. For some reason, when you started the story and you were like, what song represents James Lott Jr., I thought you were going to be like, it's the song James Lott Jr.
That's on there too. It's on there also. That came later. Yes.
While I was listening to that song, I kept getting images of you going through the world, going through your day, and that's your theme music.
Yes.
Like your alarm goes off, you reach over, you hit it,
James Lott
and
Jr.
then you pop out of bed with a big smile on your face, and that music kicks in.
I like that. That's a good one. I should do a video for that. I like that.
But no, like you say, like it feels, and it starts with your words, right? It starts with poetry. Or actually, how do you? What's your common process? Because you talk about some of these starting with words or phrases. Is that always the case, or do you occasionally work backwards from music, and then you're like, okay,
good question.
What are the words that feel like they are connected to this music?
Good question. No, for me now that I've been doing this for 3 years, because I remember. So folks out there, I have books out too. So I write books, I write poetry, and I do music. So what I have learned is an idea will come. I don't know where it's going. That's kind of exciting. I don't know which. It's going to be a short story. Is it going to be a poem? Is it going to be a song? They're all different setups. But in the beginning, I get phrases. I get melodies. A lot of times, for me, it's words. I had a word the other day that came to me, depressed horse. I have no idea what that stands for. Might be a future song. I don't know. Or it might be a story. It might be. But I dream these things. I'll dream them. They'll come to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm open to love. Okay, got it. When I did the album for my Breaking Into show, that was actually more of a concept album where I actually sat down and said, okay, I want to write songs specifically for this project. That's a very different process. It was much harder, too, because I really go, okay, I want to do like 9 or 10 songs that relate to this. But for the most part, it's a phrase, it's a sentence. Sometimes it's actual stanza. It depends. And I have notebooks in every bag that I have, my phone, I write it down. There are times when, here's one thing I do sometimes. I may have 5 or 6 different phrases. And then I print them out on a sheet of paper, cut them up, and then see if they make a song or not. Change the arrangement. Well, I'll put this over here, and then start saying it and see if they come into something. I did that recently, and actually I had 2 songs out of my phrases. My producer goes, you have 2 songs? You have 2 separate songs out of this. So we took those 4 and these 5 and made 2 songs one night. I just didn't know where I was going to go, but I just kind of like, I write stuff down all the time. I get stuff in my brain all the time. But it may become a short story. It may become a poem. And a poem, my poetry, I'm very sick. My poetry is my poetry. And my songs are my spoken word. They're my songs spoken. It was very I have them very separate. So that's kind of what I do. It depends. Just depends. I may be in a studio, and just start thinking of 4 or 5 songs. And I start writing them. They just come out, and some work and some don't.
Can I make a suggestion for your depressed horse song?
Oh, tell me, please.
So recently we talked about The Never-Ending Story.
Oh yes,
yes. And there's a moment in that movie in which a horse falls prey to the swamp of sadness
Yes.
and dies.
Yes.
I can't go back to this dark place, Tari J.
But I mean, that's one again relatable content.
It is.
I live in the swamp of sadness. I'm constantly just keeping my head above the muck.
I like that.
And so, you know, if you're gonna make a song about a depressed horse, it's got to be Artax, bro. It's got Artax,
I like that.
man.
I like that. Okay. Now you said it. Now it's in my brain. Who knows what come out of that? I'll dedicate the song to you if it comes out. And that's the thing. There's times when I'll write something down and it may sit for months. It may sit for weeks. I don't force it. I don't force the process. I make sure that I that's the one thing about doing any of the stuff that I do. I try to stay open to the process.
Yeah.
And not force myself to like make this a song, make this a story, make this a poem. Just like let's sit there and I'll come back to it sometimes. I'll come back to it. The song that I'm working on right now, which I have no problem talking about, it's called Lost and Found. The song was originally called 1979, which was exactly 40 years ago.
Okay.
And I was 10 years old. And but my producer, Pete Mills, shout out to Pete Mills, he saw something in it, and now we have a whole different song. But it started out as one thing. The theme is still the same. It's about my father leaving me and all the thing that now and becoming a man of the house. But it still works. Mm-hmm. But we changed the title, moved some words around, added some words. So that happens too sometimes, where a song may start out one way and then morphs into something else. But the theme is still the same.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a big part of the creative process where we have an initial idea and nothing is ever the same as the way it started. Like everything goes through so many different revisions and like you start to understand what the actual meaning of the piece is. Like no matter what you're doing, whether you're writing or you're making a video or you're doing a podcast. You'll always start with a kernel and then have to figure out where the like actual gold is inside of it.
And for me with this, because now I'm working on my fourth album, basically at this point, I'm really trying to do different things with my voice.
Yeah.
So the song that I'm working on right now, it sounds like nothing. I'm actually singing. It's something I've never done before in my life.
That's exciting. I was going to ask you if you were going to put them sweet, sweet baritone tones up in there.
I'm singing actually, and actually 3 or 4 songs I've done for this next album's gonna be called Salty Clouds and Sunflower Dreams. I commissioned a cover, so somebody painted me in cartoon. I have a cover ready, and it's gonna cover the last year of my life, which was very traumatic.
Right.
But I started. My producers have been saying, James, we should try to use that voice for singing too. I know you don't want to be a singer. But let's just test it. And some of the songs are really good. I was like, wow, that's me. Okay, got it. So it's kind of strange. But it's the same thing. It's just like phrases will come to me. And I noticed that all my albums start with an S. So I don't know if that's my thing now. I didn't plan on doing that. But I think it's my thing.
It's a good like pattern to have.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But then I have the collaborations with Chog. I work with them and do songs, which is more whimsical, trancey dance music. Because my second song I ever did was "Oh My God, Like Totally." That was the second song I ever did, and people love that song. People still sing that song to me all the time. All I say is "Oh my God, like totally." Oh my God, like totally. And that came from my 3-year-old great niece. To make her laugh, I would go, "Oh my God, like totally." Oh my God, like she just and my producer was like, "What are you doing?" And he put a music to it, and it became my second most popular song ever done.
It's funny because that's exactly what I did while I was listening to the song. I just had my hands in the air and I was like,
And I remember after Buzz, Marissa was like, we used to play your song in the morning just to wake us up. That song is just because it's just like this dance song. We go, "Oh my God, like totally." That's all I would say.
And it's got this powerful earworm quality to it as well. That's something I can say about almost every song on this album, and I'm only saying almost because like I'm pretty sure it's all of them.
Yes.
You always want to leave a slight margin of error because the internet gets mad. They'll come back to me being like, "I found one track on this album to not be earwormy."
Earwormy.
But no, like pretty much every track has got that hook that I feel like what's been running on repeat in my head is just. It's like one song, but it's a mashup of every hook from the album because they all they get in and they sit there and they don't go anywhere.
My daughter and grandkids love the laughing song.
That's I wrote a note that it was really adorable.
I did it on purpose. That's for my haters.
Well, you do have a very distinct laugh.
No, but that's the thing. Ever since I got on AfterBuzz TV, my laugh has been polarizing for people. People either love it and say it's contagious. Oh my God, when you laugh, I laugh too. And then others have said the meanest things to me about my laugh online. When he laughs, like, oh my God, I hate when he laughs. Oh, he ruins everything. And when he's snorting, and oh my God. And so I tell people, I'm not going to stop laughing. You know me, I'm a happy person. I laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of my signature. I laugh. So my producer said, you want to do a song just with you laughing? Like basically saying, fuck you. I said, a laughing song? Because that's what we call it, the laughing song. And my family loves this song so much. They're always playing it. I think it's hilarious. And I was like, but then the hard part was a little behind the scenes. How do you make yourself laugh?
Right, in a way that feels authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was one of the hardest songs I ever did. Was
Interesting.
like this doesn't sound fun. It's authentic. When I was like saying go, it sounded more authentic because I was laughing at you guys. I have to make
Right.
it's not easy.
Because I had assumed that they'd caught your laugh between takes and were like, we're going to musify that shit.
Oh, that's funny. No, they didn't know.
Interesting.
No,
Okay.
That's a little behind the scenes. I had to actually laugh.
Yeah.
So we did a couple of things to kind of get me a laugh, but it was one of the hardest songs I ever did. There's like no lyrics. One of the hardest songs I ever did. But they liked that one. But no, my thing was Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, all these artists who have super hooky songs. That's what I want. Whether I liked them or not, I wanted songs that were like, people would go, okay, I recognize that. Or, oh my God, I can't get out of my head. That was the whole point. That was the point.
Well,
I admire people who have like hooky songs.
Right.
Well, as George Bush says, mission accomplished.
Now we're quoting the great president, George Bush. Compared to our president now, yeah, that's no story.
Oh, dear.
I'll take a Bush any day.
Oh, dear. We're just...
Same.
Yes, I'll take a Bush any day at this point. Give me Jeb, give me whoever. I'll take whoever they say.
I'm just gonna sit here quietly,
Yes,
not
exactly.
high-fiving anybody.
No,
and y'all
I'm
will
sorry,
get
did you want some?
Y'all
No,
will get
go
the angry alt-right tweets,
Oh, I know, I
and
love
I
it.
will dodge that fire.
I'll take it, please.
I will sacrifice both of you.
Come after me. Throw me in front of them. I'll take it.
No.
No.
So I guess the big question is,
Yes.
and you kind of touched on it a little bit, that you're expanding your voice and all that stuff. But like, what's in the future for James Lott Jr.? You know,
Well, that's the exciting part because, so the first album was my first. I would always say you live your life to work that first album. So that's my first album. That's me. Mm-hmm. Then the second album I did was the orchestra album.
Yeah.
Which that was I cried every time I recorded because I recorded it in front of orchestra. And that was very interesting because I looked up online, there's not very many spoken word artists who've done orchestra music.
Right.
Or jazz. And so that was when they asked me to do it with me, I thought I was so touched. And I wrote those songs specifically for that album. They were very specific. Mm-hmm. And then I did a couple of covers from the first album. Then the Breaking Into thing was just a little tribute to my show, which I was ending. And that was kind of interesting. And then the Chog stuff, we did two EPs of music, which was fun. So now I was working on this fourth album is my main thing. It's kind of like I want it to be a cross between my own Sgt. Pepper's, kind of, if I could be that bold, and Princes Around the World in a Day. I kind of want to mix it to both. It's kind of autobiographical, but yet a little whimsical.
Okay.
I have like one of my songs that I'm still trying to pick the songs to go on the album. One of the songs might be Miss Pac-Man is My Best Friend. Like one of the songs I did.
Okay.
She's Got Me Doing It Again and Again. That's another song I've done. I mean, all these songs where my voice, I am playing with cadence. I'm playing with pacing. I'm playing with. I did one song. My voice is kind of high, which I've never had a high voice in my life.
Interesting.
And that was very hard. But I want to try. I have a song that's kind of rock. I have a song that's kind of country. I just tried. I've recorded like maybe 30 songs so far for this album. And so I'll will it down. I'll settle down. I'll probably do like 16 or 17 at some point. But I mean, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And when I was releasing singles, I've been doing non-album songs also. Because my creativity is just like flying off of me. Because for about a year, I couldn't do anything because I had Bell's palsy. So I couldn't think, I couldn't write anything. So now I feel like that stunted growth, now it's re-energized again. So now these songs are pouring out of me. What do you do with them? What do you do with them? So I've been putting some songs and just things on B-sides of songs. So I'm working on a fourth album. I'm working on a musical.
Really?
On organizing.
Interesting.
Wait, explain.
How? Yeah.
I'm a professional organizer. That's one of my trades. And I went to a hoarder play here in LA. in LA.
Was it part of the like Fringe Festival or something?
No, I know them. No, this is some small. I forgot the small theater. I've seen several plays there, and one was called "I'm a Roach, but I'm Okay" or something like that. It's about hoarding.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't care. It was horrible.
All right.
It was horrible. I was disgusted as an organizer. I thought this was just totally. It wasn't even a good parody of anything. It was just bad. So I said, "What if I do it myself, but do it as a musical?"
All right.
So I've been writing songs for that.
Yeah. Is the idea that is it like a narrative thing? Like I'm very curious.
Yes.
Is it like an Avenue Q where you pop in and you're like, hey, here's how to get your life together, and then you sing a fun ditty about like, I don't know, finally going to therapy.
I love Avenue Q. Everybody's a little bit racist sometimes.
Yeah.
No, it's the first. It's okay. So I don't know. Probably it's called "Who is Arthur Jackson and Why is His House So Messy?" That's the title.
Okay.
And I'm keeping the time with the long title, and it centers around a son who loves his father, who they lost their mother. It's been 10 years, and the house is it's a hoarder house. He won't throw any of her stuff away. He holds on to everything, and actually they meet a professional organizer. And he comes in, and it actually shows the process of him letting go. You see the wife, she comes in like, not flashbacks, like it's in visions. She comes and basically just talks about realistically what I go through as an organizer with clients.
Yeah.
They're combative at first, then they're good, they may be bad, you have some roadblocks, but then ultimately there's redemption, and that's kind of the story. And the songs all actually reflect all that.
Okay. If the organizer isn't a Mary Poppins-esque character, I'm going to be highly disappointed and I might cry, you know? And if at some point he or she doesn't yell out, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all," I'm also going to walk out of the theater.
You'll probably be walking out of the theater because that's not going to happen.
I'm going to tell you right up top.
Yeah.
Specific requests and expectations.
Maybe this was just not for you.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
No,
but in all seriousness, I want to do a serious kind of musical on this.
Yeah.
On being stuck in your life, babe. That's basically the message. How you get unstuck in your life, and professional organizers are one way to help you do that.
Actually, I would imagine too. Like in that situation with clients, you have to get them there. They almost have to go through the stages of grief, right? Because at first, I would imagine they're in denial that they have a problem.
Yes.
And what are the stages in order? Bargaining. When's bargaining?
Bargaining, I think, is in the middle. So I don't remember what they are.
I don't know what they are either.
It's denial. No, maybe it's denial, bargaining, anger,
depression and acceptance.
Depression and acceptance. Yeah.
So I would imagine you go through a version of all of those steps with everybody as they're trying to get to a place where they're okay letting go of all of these useless ultimately possessions.
They what happens is they recognize there's a problem. Once you start doing it, then it brings up everything. All of a sudden, this coaster. Should we get rid of it? Well, that was my great-grandmother's coaster. I don't know. But you have like 5,000 of these in your home. That's the point. It goes great-grandmother's. You're like, okay, we'll keep that one. But let's look at the other coasters. Well, that was uncle's, and that was auntie's. And so you go through this. At first, they want to get rid of stuff, but then they have to actually get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, when you have stuff that overpowers your space, that's the problem. If you can fit it in your house, then fine.
Right.
But most people can't fit it in their house.
Of course.
Right.
They're done. But so I'm working on that. I wrote a theme song for my new show, Extra Connections, which is on afterpartyradio.com on Mondays.
Yeah.
Which I invited them on. So we got to pick a date. I invited you guys to come on.
It's going to happen. We're going to be there.
Yes.
You have to come to Inglewood.
And then you'll listen to that show and you'll go, fuck, these guys are here too? I liked this program. I liked it. And now I am soured to the whole affair.
Yeah, I want you guys on my show. So we have a good time.
We're gonna come in and we're gonna be so professional. We're gonna come in with our hair slicked to the side, in suits. And
we're very clearly doing an Agent Smith thing.
Yeah.
Like, even with our voices, like, we've had our eye on you for some time now.
My engineer producer will be like, who are these people? Who did James bring in here?
And we leave, and he's like, never again.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry.
Hashtag never forget.
Yes, never
They
forget.
put our photos
Sorry,
up on
girl.
the band
Sorry. I don't
wall.
really. You'll be banned from theafterpartyradio.com.
Like we've never scrapped an episode before, but this one's going on the floor.
Yes. And then also what I've been doing is I have 4 of my songs are on TV shows right now. I've been trust me, I've been so shocked. People are coming to me and saying, I want to play your song on our show. And I'm getting like music releases and things. I'm like, what? So I have one song on one Amazon series called oh my god, it's another series. Asunder the series. It's an online soap. It's on Amazon. So I have a song on that one. I have 2 songs on a show called Get It Done with Gina. And then I have a song that's going to be played in a new series called Bubbling Brown Sugar. So my music's getting out there. I'm shocked. I was like, I didn't even thought this part of it at all. So I've just been writing. I'm doing a Spanish album, working on that.
Oh, really? Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I do. And my 2 biggest songs ever that I've ever released are my Spanish songs. Lo mismo es lo mismo and No jugando aquí. Those are 2 songs I released over the last couple of years, and they're huge. Huge. I made more money off of those. I made so much money off those. I bought a new computer. I bought a new iMac. I mean, like, they make me money. I like my Spanish music.
Interesting.
And they're very interesting.
I'm in the wrong business.
I know. And so now my producer goes, well, James, you got to do a Spanish album. So I have to write it in Spanish and make it sound. I can write in Spanish and read it, but I've never written a song or a poem in Spanish.
Right.
So that's what's been interesting for me. It's taking a little longer. So the album may not be out until maybe like next year, but I have one song I did called Esperanza, which I just finished, which means hope in Spanish. And did a song called Lo Siento, which is I'm sorry. So I'm trying to write enough music to have an actual Spanish album. Mm-hmm. I think I think of a song. I think I can think of a title an S title for that album too.
Spanish song.
I know, right, that's the other way I think of it. Spanish songs, James Lott Jr.
We gotta turn this into a Spanish language podcast
There you
so
go.
that we too can buy nice things.
Yes.
As opposed
Okay.
to all
That's
the
the answer.
shitty bullshit things we have
Exactly.
now.
That's the message I'm trying to give you guys. Speaking Spanish, you can buy good computers.
All right. Bienvenido a
Exactly.
Missing Out.
Yes.
Por favor, manténganse alejados de
Ma'am.
las puertas.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it.
That's the one. I was on that monorail many a time, sir.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god, so funny. But yeah, so I'm working on a Spanish album too. So that's kind of thing I'm working on music wise.
Okay. Have you ever gotten to meet Yoko Ono?
No, I would love to.
How do we make this happen?
How do we make it happen,
How do
everybody?
we get you in a room with Yoko Ono?
Who out there knows her press or whatever, or PR people, or whatever? Let me know. I want to meet her. I'd love to meet her.
I mean, I assume like she does public rallies for stuff. So
She's
like,
in New York. She's in New York.
Yeah.
I go to New York. I have no problem going to New York. I love New York.
yeah. Are you doing are you doing a cross country tour? Why don't you hang out in New York? We'll have your people talk to her people.
No, I'd love to. I'd love to meet her.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet her and tell her, oh, you inspired me. Of all people, you inspired me. Your music.
She'd be like, I don't know how to take that.
I know. I'm like, of all people, you and Gil Scott Heron inspired me.
Be like Yoko Ono. Here, come to my show tonight.
Right.
It's at 7 p.m. at the Staples Center, and she goes, "Wait, I'm doing a show at 7 p.m. at the Staples Center," and you're like, "Fucking exactly."
We're doing it together, girlfriend. We're doing it together.
Yeah. Welcome to collab culture, baby.
We're doing it together. I'm 50. You're like 80. We're gonna work it out, folks. I'd love to meet her. Somebody make it happen. I'd love to meet her. Have her call me. Call me.
Is she on Twitter? I'll tweet her.
I don't know if she's on Twitter. I don't know if she is or not. It's a good question.
We'll find out. Internet. Future Tari. One of those who's ever
Tari.
faster.
Future Tari.
Yeah. He listens. He knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He's always listening.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Now I'm scared. Back to the scare thing. Back to the
There's
scare
that
thing.
fear again.
There's a fear come back again.
It
yeah.
subsided for moments and only moments.
Not
Yep.
back.
And then I had to do my job again.
Oh,
Yeah.
America. That's just so like America to do that. Of course.
Oh man. Do you have any final thoughts about the album and how it's inspired you? Do you have any final thoughts about like the creation of music? Any last thoughts about Lex Michael as a person?
I love Lex.
Bubbling brown sugar.
Sugar. That's my last thoughts about him. And your white chocolate.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no. So
From
no,
Switzerland.
From Switzerland. That's right. That's what a good chocolate is, right? No, my thing is when I look back at that first album, Songs from My Inside Voice, I'm very proud of myself that I did something that was completely out of my comfort zone, something that I created it with producers, but the lyrics are all mine. I wrote all the lyrics. As a music file of, Franco file, photo file, whatever you want to call the words, I have an album out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I have more now, but I'm saying that was the first one that got the ball rolling and told me that I can have a career in this business as a recording artist. When I Google myself, it comes to recording artist first, which is really weird. Not my TV stuff or organizing. That's all below. It says recording artist. And that tripped me out. The first time I tripped me out, the first time I saw that, I'm like, wow. And my brother's like, you are a recording artist. And I said, I guess I am. I have like 60 songs out there or so. They're just out there.
Yeah.
Different versions, things like they're all out there. And 2 of my songs right now that I just wrote that have not been released have been picked up by other people. They want to take it for themselves. I said, I'll be a songwriter, get songwriting royalties. That's where the money is anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And songwriting. I wrote a song called Angels Everywhere, and this producer in Europe likes it and said, can we use it? And see if we can. I was like, please, go right ahead. Please. I'm like, let me know.
Yeah.
But I just, that first album really made me say that I could do this. And again, like everything else that I do, my writing, I started so late in comparison to most people. I started in my 40s. I started recording career in my late 40s. And I'm thriving at it. I'm fine. I'm making a little bit of money. I'm having fun while I'm doing it. I'm not trying to get on the charts. I mean, if I did, it's fine. But you know what I mean? I'm doing it because I like doing it. It's a fun outlet.
Right.
Yeah.
I have other things that I'm doing that are much more serious and kind. I mean, I'm not saying it's not serious, but they're much more my focus. This is fun.
Yeah.
I love being in the studio. I love creating something. I love putting it out there. If someone says, I love your music. I was at an event last night for something completely different, for soaps. I was emceeing it downtown LA, and a couple of the people that went there were like, James, I love your music. That's what's so weird for me now. I was in an Uber the other day, and a guy played my Spanish music. He goes, wait a minute, I know you. And I go, you don't know me. I was like, you don't know me. He's like, I do. I put on my song. My music's everywhere. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere. And so I go, oh my God. He's like, I get to meet you. I was like, oh my God, this is really weird. I Snapchatted her. And I was like,
fear again.
it was weird. I was like, oh my God, how do you know me? Because I don't know who hears my music. I don't know who does what. I mean, I see the views and spins all that online, but like I don't know who. That's why I like it. I'm starting to get recognized for my music. And that's what's kind of strange to me. But that first album was where it began. And it's a lesson to anybody. Just be fearless. You want to try something? Try it.
Yep.
Forget age. Forget what you think, what's going on, money or whatever. Just try it. And you just never know where. It may be a one-off and be fine. You can say you did it. Or it may turn into something. So.
How much would you say that the stuff that you use for life coaching applies to the way that you approach these new things?
100%.
Right.
I live what I preach.
As you should.
You should, but I do. I mean, not everybody does. I do. I mean, it makes me more relatable to my clients, to the people I speak to, because I can say, oh, I can tell you, for example, what it did for me.
Right.
I'm not just pontificating and saying, well, you should do this. I'm actually telling you, well, this is what I did, and it actually worked or didn't work. I mean, I can tell you from experience.
Yeah. Are there like pillars or tenets that like, if you were to just try to leave the people who are listening with just a couple like foundational things, what would those be?
Small steps lead to large rewards. I say it all the time. Small steps lead to large rewards. I say it all the time. That's my main thing. It's okay to start small and try it and see what happens. You might not even say monetarily, but physically, emotionally, whatever. You'll walk away as a better person. Just try it. I always say go in care, compassion, and those two things are, for yourself and for others. You should always be kind to yourself and kind to others. And my last thing always is you should be nice. Nice should be the norm.
Nice.
That's an important one.
Yeah.
It is.
I feel like a lot of people forget.
They do.
That, yes, nice.
People should be nice. And it pisses me off. People aren't nice. When people are unnecessarily rude and mean.
Yep.
There's a lot of the stuff is unnecessary. It's
Right.
like, I don't really need, that's like giving me attitude the other day for something that I'm like, I don't even know why they're giving me attitude. I'm just like, what's that for? I don't even understand. It's unnecessary. Just be nice.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, they were just lashing out at you.
They were. I was just too pretty.
That's true. That's always the case.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Like, oh my gosh, totally.
Oh my God, I totally. Let's say take it back. But no,
man.
that's I think people should be nice. Nice should be the norm. Those are kind of my three things.
Nice.
Yeah, just start at any age. Start at any age. No, don't worry about your age. Just start it. Don't let anybody tell you shouldn't do anything because you're too old or too young. Just do it.
There's like a 5-year-old listening to this who's like, go, I am going to be an astronaut.
Yes. Yes.
There's another 5-year-old like, I'm going to smoke cigarettes.
Yes.
It sounds so glamorous when they talk about it.
Because your soul needs it, you 5-year-old. Your soul needs that cigarette. It needs it.
Oh, man. James, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
This has been really fun. Where can people find you if they want to talk to you about more stuff?
You can find me on all social media platforms where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. It's that simple. And my music, you can find everywhere. It's on Google Play. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, and then my SoundCloud page. Just type in James Lott Jr. and you'll find everything about me everywhere.
Nice.
Yes.
What about you, Lex? Where can people find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael. You can't find my music anywhere because I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
Alrighty.
You could come to my apartment, and that's where you would hear me messing around with a guitar.
oh, cool. Where can they find your
They can't. It exists in a pocket dimension between two other units.
Got it. Okay.
It's like when I get home, I do I wave my hand around, and it's like the Harry Potter thing where
Yeah.
the two doors move apart, and my doorway is revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It scares the shit out of people. They're like, the fear.
That would scare me. That would scare me. I'd run. I'd go running. That would scare me.
Cool. And you can find me at Tari J, Turijay. I also have no music, but you can, if you listen hard enough on the freeways of Los Angeles, hear me singing at the loudest volume that I can make from my face. So yeah. But most importantly, you can find this podcast at Missing Outcast. That's MissingOutcast. And we are on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Make sure to hit us up on whatever platform
Follow
you
them.
are. Please do.
Follow them. Like,
Yeah.
rate, subscribe, comment, share.
We should have you on every episode. Just come in and be like, share.
Share.
So yeah, do those things. Show some love, just to help keep this podcast going, help other people find it. Because as we've said, the most potent form of advertisement is word of mouth. So thank you for joining us. This has been the retrospective that's introspective.
And now you have a new perspective. There's a kid who smokes cigarettes.
Goo goo gaga, boo boo. Has menthol in it.